My name is Sylvia Yvonne Cyrus, and I'm the Executive Director of the Association for the Study of African American Life and History.
Well, thank you so much, Sylvia, for taking the time to join me for this quick interview, especially after a wonderful, successful 2025 ASALH conference. You've done an excellent job.
Thank you so much.
So how many years have you been with ASALH now?
I have been with ASALH for 22 years. For 21 years, I've been the Executive Director. I came in as the Interim Executive Director. And this has been such a rewarding position for me because, quite frankly, before this, I had no knowledge of ASALH. I always, through my family, had a great appreciation for our history. We talked about our legacy and those sort of things. I was talking about Fannie Lou Hamer when I taught Sunday school back at Second Baptist Church in Roselle, New Jersey. But coming here and finding out that it was not them, but it was us who proclaimed Black History Month, and that we had the premier organization that was responsible for researching, preserving, disseminating the information about the contributions of African Americans was such an humbling opportunity for me. And then after doing this, a bit, to really understand that I was sitting in the seat of Carter G. Woodson. Mm-hmm. And I must tell you that in many days, I feel completely just like I'm unworthy to sit in the seat, because as much as I could try to be Dr. Woodson, I feel like I'm always falling short. I could hear him in my ear saying, why isn't that done? Why wasn't that done better, et cetera? Because he was a very critical person, as well he should be. And so I laugh with my staff and with others that I'm a demanding person, because our history demands our excellence. It demands our advocacy. And especially in these times, especially in 2025, knowing what we are facing right now, it is critically important that we share with the community and the world that this is not the first time that we have had struggles. Mm-hmm. It's not the first time that we have triumphed over struggles. And that no matter what is happening out there in the world, where people are trying to distract us, to knock us down, et cetera, that Woodson and his work, the work of this association, is here to prove that after 110 years, the same reason that Dr. Woodson formed this organization with 4 or 5 of his good friends, colleagues, that it is still as important today. And so I love this job because it gives me a chance to commune with people, to share the great news. And I rarely run into a person that when they hear about what we are doing, what we're about, that they don't support it. Most importantly, that they join us, because this is a fight that's going to take the whole community. And as a result, it has just been a wonderful, wonderful experience that I want to bring people along with.
And for those that may not be aware, can you address some of the threats and attacks that have come directly at the organization, so that there's awareness of, the challenges that the organization has been confronted with over recent months?
Well, I want to start with the challenges that the organization has had since its inception. Dr. Woodson wanted to do research and his, more work at Harvard University as he was working on his PhD. He was prevented from doing so. That was a threat against our history. That through the years, we have had challenges where people do not believe our history, maybe not in the same way that is happening right now, but the threats against us as a Black people. We remember driving while Black, walking while Black. So the whole idea that we as a people are saying, oh, now we're under attack. We have been under attack forever. So it's just how we get ready to stay ready. But recently, of course, with the recent, current events that have happened, a week before the conference, someone hacked our website and shut it down. But because we've been running to the fight since Jacksonville, Florida, that we had already put in place additional security on our website, they broke through for, a half a day. It was really in the evening, but because we had already put things in place that do cost money. So that's the reason why we asked people to donate to the association, that we were able to get the website back up and running. We had no loss of any of the integrity of any of the content that we had, and we will work through that. So that's the website. So we know that we're doing that. As I mentioned, when we were in Jacksonville, Florida, we had a tumultuous time where we were concerned that people knowing our mission would come after us. And we've had to take additional steps regarding our security that we don't always have to talk about with our members, but we're working on that all the time. But then here in Atlanta, Georgia, we had individuals who came into this conference, who registered for this conference so that they could circumvent and intervene in the things that were happening here. And thankfully, because we had members who had their ear to the ground, we were able to record what they were doing, share it with security, remove them from the premises, and move forward with our program. And much to the credit of our members, although immediately we let them know what was happening, not one member flinched. Because we're here for this fight. We understand that there are warriors in this fight, and that is what we are going to do. We will not be stopped, deterred. We will not turn around. That we have 110 years in this organization of fighting the fight for Black history. We will continue in the legacy of Dr. Carter G. Woodson, Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, and countless thousands of others who have fought to make sure that our history is lifted up.
Right. Wow, that's powerful. Powerful work. Good trouble as well.
Exactly. Good trouble, especially here in John Lewis's town. And we certainly miss John Lewis. We were here 10 years ago for our centennial, and he came and we gave him an award. And what I appreciate so much about John Lewis is he gave us an award. We gave him an award.
Yes.
He gave us a check because he realized that in order for us to continue the work that he had to donate. And I think that that's the message to our people, is that you can support this from your armchair, but we need your finances to help. And sometimes we need you out in the street, whether it is in Good Trouble protests, whether it is supporting our freedom schools, which we are starting, whether it's making sure that there's Black History Month in your faith-based organization. We've got to get up out of these chairs and stand on the legacy and just float on the wings of those who have come before us to make sure that we can sit in places that they could not even imagine.
Well, yes, absolutely. Now, you talked about an awards. I want to congratulate you. You just received an award by the Congressional Black Caucus this week as well, I believe. I want to applaud you on that. It's well deserved. Congratulations to you. My question is, given that award that you received recently, what has been your greatest achievement thus far?
So I will tell you that it was the Black Women's Agenda. It is an organization of over 30 women, female-based organization, Black women, the same Black women who 92% of us went out and voted for Vice President Kamala Harris. And she even appeared there. I got a chance to hug her, my good soror. But the Black Women's Agenda is such a prestigious organization that I would say that was certainly on Friday, just such an humbling experience, and certainly will go down in memory for me as one of the most impactful situations that I have ever had. The recognition of ASALH first was so important, that they recognized that our history was important. And then to be humbled that, because I've been here for 20 plus years and that ASALH continues to do this work, that they saw fit to just shine a little light on my corner of the world. And I really appreciated that. That was good. There are other organizations who, like the National Parks Conservation Association, that gave me their Centennial Award, again, for the preservation and work that we do is so important. So those are certainly some of the highlights. But I will tell you that a highlight every year is coming to this conference. Just to see the networking that goes on and to see the spark that we have first timer ribbons for people who just show up for the first time. And it gives me an opportunity to go to them and say, what do you think of this conference? And everyone who comes to this conference really talks about how great an event it is, how much they learn, how they're inspired to go forward. And I must tell you that every year, just being able to get that little pat on the back that my staff has done a good job, that the speakers have done a good job, that our leadership has done a good job, it just makes it all so valuable for me.
Absolutely. So for those that this might be, when they see this video, they hear your voice, they see you, and they're not aware of ASALH, how can ASALH be supported to those individuals that this is their first time being exposed to ASALH? And what's coming in 2026?
So I'm going to say this. One of the ways that I want individuals who may not know about ASALH to get their mindset is that we as a people have been responsible for making our history what it is. I can remember very early in starting out at ASALH, I would say, okay, how many people are mad that they only gave us 1 month for Black History Month? And hands would shoot up, yeah, why'd they give us only 1 month? And I said, and so what have they ever given you? And if we can create this awareness that the things that are happening that are good for us as a people are because we as a people have been good for and to ourselves, that is critically important to our mission, to make people just think. So if you see this and it's good for our people, who were the people? Who were the Black people? Who are the people who support Black people who made it so? Not the federal government, not some unknown nonprofit, etc. We ourselves have made it so important. We are so excited about 2026 because we are going to be commemorating a century of Black history celebrations. Now, we can't say a centennial of Black History Month because for the first 50 years, it was Negro History Week. And then this association went to the world, said a week is not enough. So in 1976, the celebration changed from Negro History Week to Black History Month. So we have 50 plus 50 gives us 100. And that is what we will be celebrating and commemorating next year. So we will be just lifting up the fact that Black people, way before they were presidential proclamations, way before everybody was selling Black History t-shirts, that through the work of Dr. Woodson, but countless others who knew about our contributions, that we began celebrating who we were, what we were about, and uplifting our community. And so we're going to shine a light on that next year. We're going to have a fantastic Black History Month luncheon at the JW Marriott on February the 28th. And the speaker is going to be our own illustrious president, Dr. Kay Wise Whitehead. Wow. She is a dynamic speaker, so connected to what's happening in terms of the community and America and the world. So everybody should come out and get a ticket for that luncheon. They'll be available by before the end of the year. And then we'll have a series of other programs that are branches. We have over 40 branches around this nation, from Los Angeles to Texas to Florida to New York. And they'll be having events too. So we encourage individuals to come out and join us, attend those events, join ASALH. And then we will be in Norfolk, Virginia, starting in September of 2026, September 23rd through the 27th. We'll have our 111th annual conference. It's going to be in Norfolk, Virginia, a place that holds a great amount of history for Black people. And we're going to celebrate it all over again. So we want everybody to join us in Norfolk as we commemorate 100 years of Black history celebrations.
Outstanding, outstanding. So my last two questions are more personal, from a personal nature. That first question is this: how do you protect your peace and guard your hope?
It's hard to protect my peace because when you are running an organization full of members who have to stay energized and informed, but I think that my peace is something that kind of comes from within, and every once in a while I have to step away and just take time for myself to just kind of reflect and come up with plans. Sometimes I just, sit on the beach and just kind of relax.
Get some sand on your toes,
Just
right?
get some sand in between my toes. And that's really important, especially in these days, because, some of the challenges that we face as a people anyway, we already know that the challenge to our physical health is greater than those who are, the majority community. Mental health issues are really real. And I encourage us to, not just for my piece, but everyone, to kind of take a look at and help each other as a community and make sure that when we see people who are getting a little bit too high strung, that we tap them on the shoulder and say, it's time to take a break. And I will admit, sometimes my staff and some of my board will say, Sylvia, take a day off, just relax. It's going to be okay. And I think protecting my peace means sometimes that I have to listen. And I have to accept it, even though I have a tremendous energy level. Sometimes you really do have to just stop and take a day off sometimes.
Yeah, it's a marathon. It's a marathon. And so my last question is this, because my platform is steeped in history, and my question is for you: if you could have a sit-down conversation with an ancestor, someone from our great history, who would that be and why?
If I had an opportunity to talk to an ancestor, I would talk to my great grandmother, Mary Etta Johnson.
Mm.
And I would want to talk to her because she was 6 years old when the Union Army came through Middlesex County, Virginia, and liberated the slaves. And so she had seen slavery as a young child. She had to then deal with the aftermath of being free as a young child. And I know that some of the energy that I have and some of the passion I have has to have been passed down from someone who farmed her whole life, had to deal with prejudice in a way that I didn't have to deal with it. And if I could speak to one ancestor, Mary Etta Johnson would be the one who I'd love to speak with.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and making time for me. And so I just appreciate you so much. I will continue to support you, to support ASALH as you continue to do the good work and the good trouble that is so needed for our communities. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. And I just would like to end on these thoughts that everyone can do something. Everyone must do something. And if we would all agree to support ASALH, either join ASALH, make a donation to ASALH, we can continue this great work. But we need you. We need you. And now is the time.